Hey beautiful people, so how are we all doing? Today we'll be cutting this beautiful gown that is on this our screen today. So by the grace of God, we'll be learning how to achieve the fullness of this gown, because the beauty of this gown is in the fullness. Okay, so now I'll be showing you tips and tricks on how to get this fullness. Now, as usual, for my beginners class, I'll be using this our miniature measurement and fabric, but just know for an average adult this style needs at least 5 yards. 4 yards is to manage it. Give it 5 yards. Okay, give it 5 yards. So if you are lucky, you will see that this gown has length. That means there's definitely a joining on the hemline. If you look at the screen very well, you will see the joining. Don't worry about that. Don't even go and start busting your head to look for what to do. Okay, that gown has a joining. If you want to cover your own joining, then you can use trimming on that stitch line, okay, so that it won't be obvious. But if not, you can see that the main gown has joining, and because of the beauty of the gown, it's not even obvious. The joining is not even obvious. So definitely this gown is going to have a joining. So but if in the market you are able, this particular gown, when a client gives you a style to sew, please do well to use the exact material that you are seeing, because if you go and use another material for a particular style, you might not get that effect that the person is seeing, and the person will say, oh, you didn't sew it well. It's not because you did not sew it well, it's because you didn't use the right material. And if it's the client that brought a wrong material, please do well to advise the client that, okay, if you bring this material, you might not really get this effect. Now for this particular style, now I will advise you use poly satin, London crepe, soft crepe. Please do not use anything hard. Okay, use satin, shiny crepe. Please do not use Duchess. I see people using doll face Duchess to make this gown. It's a no. It's thick, it cannot fall. This gown needs to be fall. You can see when the person is wearing, it's shaky, it's not stiff. So please do not use doll face satin to do it. It will not give you the effect. You can see the kind of material I'm using to make it. Though this one is flowered, but you can see it's shaking and it falls easily. Okay, these are the kind of materials you can use to make it. Now if you are where you can get this material is in bale, or this, you see all these clothes they used to put on the ground when you go to Oshodi, those materials they put on the floor. That's where sometimes, if you have good customers, I have good customers that immediately they bring new bales, they call me. Okay, those are the people you see sitting and selecting before every other person that wants to buy 1 yard, because they know that when we come, we buy as much as 100 yards to go and sell. Do you understand? So you go to those bale people on the ground. That's where you see all this. This is a bale material. I've shown you people before. It's a beautiful bale material, and I bought this for I think 300 naira then. Okay, I don't know, by now it should be 500 naira. But had it been you go to the normal fabric store to buy this, you can be seeing this at 1.4 or 1.5. So when you're looking for cheap material, please do well to patronize those people that put their own on the floor. Don't look at it to be too local. Those styles that you buy from the boutique, most times are from that material. Let me just tell you the truth. I don't want to spoil anybody business, but this is just the basic truth. Most materials you see in stores today, boutiques today, are from those bale materials that you see on the floor. So now if you are very lucky to see the ones, some are for 90 yards. That's where you see materials that came with 90 yards length. That is by 90. But if you sew by 90 yards, then that means you are very good to go. Your own gown might not have a joining at the neck, depending on the length of the client you are making it for. Okay, but if you are not lucky and you are just seeing by 60, then you can get it. I will show you how to join it in this tutorial, okay, to make it to be enough for your full length of your client. Now like I said before, this material is going to be needing 5 yards, 5 complete yards. 4 yards will be for management, but the actual measurement you are going to be using is 5 yards. Know it that in that 5 yards there will be pieces remaining, so you can use it for your Zara cap or whatever you want to use it for. Now first step is to fold it into the whole length of that 5 yards. Okay, this is a zigzag scissors. It's used to cut your fabric if you don't want to weave. Okay, so when you use it to cut it, it gives this zigzag effect. Okay, so you can get it if you are into ready to wear business, these are one of the necessities you need to have. Okay, so this is my full 5 yards, right? So the first thing you are going to do is to fold the whole 5 yards into 2. This gown does not really need measurement. The only thing we need in this gown is your neck measurement, your full length, your shoulder to elbow where your hand will be popping out from, and then your neckline. That's all we need. So now we have folded our fabric into 2. This is our 5 yards now, folded into 2. Then you hold this edge that is very close to you and take it straight down to wherever it finishes. Okay, like so. And then you will make sure to leave this half inches here, because you know why? This our style, it does not have stitches at the side though. It does not have joining at the side. All the joining is at the back. So this gown has only one joining at the back. Okay, it only has one joining at the back. So we go ahead now to fold. You have seen the way I folded it. This is what is called bias folding. Okay, when you say you want to fold on bias, this is what is called bias folding. Then you iron it down. You iron it down. Okay. You iron it down so that it will stay. Okay, so now we are going to be working on the full length of our gown. Okay, now we are going to be working on the full length of our gown. And I do not want to, I want to listen, watch carefully, because this is where you will see how to manage this your shortage that we are going to be having here. Definitely you will have shortage around this area. Okay, so you watch and see what to do about the shortage. Now, first of all, there's a fullness at that shoulder. Already, this is, if you cut out this gown like this, you will see fullness. But there's this extra fullness that this gown has. And I want to tell you that that extra fullness came from the fact that there's a pleating on the shoulder. So you watch to the end so that I'll show you how you are going to pleat that shoulder. Okay, so now for us to get the full length of this our gown, okay, we have to determine the shoulder, because it is that shoulder that's the beginning of your gown. So you determine from the shoulder is what you are going to be measuring down. So wherever the shoulder fits in here, around here, that is where we start measuring our 60 inches. Like for my own client, I want to assume that my own client's measurement is 60 inches. So it's from the shoulder I'm going to be measuring that 60 inches. So I'm not going to start measuring that 60 inches from here. No, wherever the shoulder line falls here, that is where I'm going to be measuring that 60 inches from. Now, to measure our 60 inches, there are some rules and regulations we have to observe. Now, number one is that my client's shoulder measurement is 16 inches, which when on fold is 8 inches, right? But because this gown has a shoulder pad, if I make it 8 inches, there will be shortage on that shoulder. Okay, the pad will not balance well. So I have to add extra 1 inch so that my shoulder pad can stay well. Okay, now this particular gown does not have shoulder slope. It is straight. It doesn't have shoulder slope. We are not doing shoulder slope this time around. One, then I'm adding an extra inch to my 8 inches plus sewing allowance, which is 8.5. Okay, reason being that the shoulder measurement, shoulder pad is going to lift up the shoulder, so we need extra inches to make it balance. Now there's a pleating on that shoulder, and that pleating that we are seeing on that shoulder sometimes takes up to 4 inches, depending on how you want, how the customer wants the fullness. But for me, my client wants it exactly the way it's on that picture, so I'll be adding 2 inches to my shoulder measurement to give me 2 inches plus 8.5 plus 9.5, sorry, plus 9.5, that is 11.5 inches. So we'll take our tape rule and start checking out for where we are going to have 11.5. If we put it here, no, it doesn't have, it's not there. We put it here, no, it's not here. You keep trying it out until you see that, okay, when I place it like this here, I'm going to be having 11.5. Please do not mind the measurement you are seeing here. Just follow what I am saying and apply it to the fabric and you will understand. Now, it's assumed that this is where I'm going to be having my 11.5, and I mark it.
Okay, I mark it. Now I will now come to the tip here to find out exactly at one point did I get that, and I got it at exactly 3.25. Now I will place my tape rule again here and measure 3.25. Then after measuring that 3.25, I will use my ruler like so to connect. I will use my ruler to connect. Now that I've used my ruler to connect, I can now measure 60 inches. Okay, I can now be looking for 60 inches. Now I will now say, since this is 3.25, okay, from here is 3.25, okay, plus 60, that is 63.25. That means I'm looking for 63.25. I will now hold my tape like this and be looking for 63.25. That means I'm looking for 63.25. Now I will measure it, and oh, it's here, it's at this 15. But you know that in your own, because it's complete measurement, it might be longer, it will be longer, it will definitely be longer than this one. So now I'll keep marking 15, that number I saw there. I'll keep marking it, I'll keep marking it, I'll keep marking it, and then I get here, and so I will connect, I will connect, I will connect, I will connect, I'll connect. Okay, hope we are all seeing. I'll connect, okay, and then I'll cut it out. When I cut it out, now you can see the shortage I have. Okay, you can see my shortage now. I have to join this place. This particular one is shorting. You take out from the one that you have cut out, you see that this place is on fold. That means our hair is going to be on fold. But now I'm going to be making it, placing on each other, okay, by half inch. That is the sewing allowance that I'm going to be using to join it together. And then I will turn it neatly to the back. Okay, I will turn it nicely to the back. Okay, I will turn it nicely to back. Now when you turn it to the back, you can see where you are cutting out now. Okay, when you turn it to the back, I will now cut it out this way. So you see, okay, you see. Now I'm going to be using pin to hold it down. Invest in pin. I will use my needle to hold it down. Okay, so you see, I will now take it to the sewing machine, notch the center, notch it so that when you open, you don't miss it. Notch it, okay, and you still notch here. Okay, now I'm going to be taking it to the sewing machine. I'll be taking it to the sewing machine to go and join it like so. Okay, let's go and join it and we'll be back. Okay, so we have joined it. You can see we have joined it. So we'll start our sewing. Because you pinned it down, it will be easy for you to fold it back again. Okay, then you iron your seam lines down. Or you can even make it as well for yourself. Make it for your, please, when you are ironing your own, open this seam line or you iron it flat. Okay, later when we are done with the sewing, we will still open it and iron it from inside. Okay, so now let's go ahead with cutting our neckline. Okay, so this is our neckline. We will now cut it out. Our shoulder, this is our shoulder. We will not cut out this neckline now. I will show you what to do. Now you will cut off the shoulder, okay, leaving your seam allowance for the sewing. Then you open it, take it to your sewing machine and sew here. Sew here like this. Meanwhile, notch this side so that you will know the front. That's why it's important to add your seam allowance for the sewing of the neck, so that when you notch, it doesn't enter into your sewing. So we'll go and stitch this back side. We've joined the back. Okay, we have joined the back like this. Now we turn it inside out so that we see what our gown
looks like. Okay, so this is what your gown will be looking like. You see, it's already forming. Okay, it's already forming. Now you are going to cut out the neckline. Now for us to cut out the neckline, you will turn it like so. Okay, you will turn it like so. Then you will cut the back neckline first before the front neckline. Okay, so my back neckline is going to be 1 inch and my front neckline is going to be 3 inches. So we mark it 3 inches deep. Remember that we said we are going to be gathering it. Okay, so we will gather it to the original neckline that we calculated for bust 40 divided by 12. Okay, so this is our back neckline. Now we cut out our front neckline. We remove the back and we cut our front neckline, and this is the front neckline we are cutting now. Okay, so we place it like this so everything becomes very clear. Okay, so this is your front neckline for the front and this is the back neckline. Now this front neckline, remember that we did 8 inches, which is shoulder measurement, plus 1 inch because of the shoulder pad, plus 2 inches pleating. If you want, you can make it pleat, but if you want, you can make it gathers. You can just drag it. Now we have removed our neckline. Already like this, the gown has fullness. Okay, but remember that here we added 2 extra inches. That is 8 inches on the whole, plus 1 inch for shoulder pad, plus 2 inches pleating. That means here there's 2 inches extra for pleating. So we are going to pleat that 2 inches. Now if you measure here now, you will find out that is 11.5. Okay, so we are going to be measuring here by reducing here by 2 inches. You can decide to use pleat, you can decide to use gathers, and that is what. So we are going to be pleating out. We are going to be pleating out 2 inches from here. Okay, now the next thing is, when you are finished pleating it out, you measure from here to anywhere you want your elbow to get to. Okay, you measure from the shoulder line to the elbow where your hand will be coming out. Okay, now when you measure it, mine is 14 inches. Okay, mine is 14 inches. Then I measure it down to 14 inches, which is around here. Okay, now when you get to this 14 inches, you now measure the wideness of the arm length, which is somewhere around here. Then I connect it. Make yours 10 inches. Okay, make it 10 inches. Now you come in by ½ inch this way and then you connect. Okay, so you now have your sleeve opening. So you can either decide to use a band. Okay, you can either decide to attach a band to it or you can leave it that way. Okay, then you attach your bishop collar on the neck, and guys, when you are done, that is the end of the tutorial. So let me go ahead to go to our machine and pleat this shoulder. Then after everything, you now attach your shoulder pad inside. Now I am not saying you should not make your own shoulder pad, but I'm saying when you want to make your shoulder pad, please make something that is beautiful, something that is sellable, something that when you attach it to people's clothes and sell it, they will hurriedly buy it from you. If not, please do well to buy shoulder pad from the market. I think it's 150 naira. Then you use your material to cover it. But if you have extra money, you can go for the ready-made shoulder pad, which is already made. All you need to do is attach it under your sleeve, and guys, you are done with your gown. So let me go ahead to attach to pleat this shoulder. It's this shoulder that I'm going to be pleating here that gives the real fullness. Okay, if you leave it this way, this is how it will be. Okay, but when you now pleat the shoulder, when you pleat it,
Okay, this is when you now start getting that effect that we are looking for. When you pleat the shoulder, that's when you start looking. So in everything, the secret of this gown is pleat the shoulder. So let's go ahead and pleat the shoulder and then I'll show you.